So welcome. We'll get started as we always do. Just coming into yourself, centering, taking a seat where your spine can rise. You feel grounded. And close your eyes and feel your breath. Breathing through your nose if you can. Lining up your spine with your breath, letting your head float up above your spine. So we've been talking about the real purpose of yoga is to know your true self, the self that's not what you do or what you say, your true essence. Which is good always. And the way that yoga, one of the ways that yoga helps us find our true selves is just by unifying with the breath, which connects the outside world, your body, and your inside world. And often our mind is outside and our mind is going in a different direction from the breath. So just coming into your breath in this moment, noticing the inhale and the exhale. It can be a very gentle breath. Or a stronger breath. So let's begin by drawing our hands in front of our hearts. And you may join me in the sound of Om. Inhale. Om. Bow your head to your heart. Open your eyes and let's begin. And still connecting the breath and the movement. So inhale the shoulders up. Exhale down the back. Big shoulder rolls. Inhale up. Exhale down. Just moving with the breath. It's a way to stay in the present moment. Quiet the mind. Inhale the shoulders up. Let them slide down the back. Get your head floating right up over your spine. Exhale, turn this to one side. Inhale back. Exhale and inhale. And only going as far as you can without forcing anything. Just gently exploring your range of motion and stopping before anything is strained. And sometimes your range of motion just starts to open up with your breath and the movement. Okay, and coming back to center, let's take one arm down, one arm up, root through your sitting bones at your feet and stretch up and stretch down, root down and stretch up one side. And release, and then the other side, one arm down, root through your feet, your sitting bones, and stretch in both directions and feel your breath. And release. And then you may stay seated or come to standing. And let's continue warming up. So in Tadasana, mountain pose, your feet are straight forward, your hips and your knees line up with your second toe. And let's take your hands to your shoulders, elbows out. Inhale, open. Exhale, elbows toward each other. Inhale, root down and open. Exhale in. And again, just going as far as feels good. Exhale in. Inhale, working the legs, rooting down, opening up. And last one, let's hold it open, root down and open your heart. You may even stretch up. And release. Okay. And then you may want to hang on to a chair for this one or not. We're going to warm up the legs. So we're going to, again, feet are parallel. We're going to exhale down and inhale up. Keep the bottom way back, weight in the heels. Keep your spine extended, look forward, not down. And then we can add arms if you feel stable. And then you can go up on the tiptoes, which can be challenging. Exhale. Just taking it as far as you want to. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale. And the last one, let's hold it. Weight in the heels, butt going way back, long spine, kind of like a ski jumper pose. Breathe. You want to make it more challenging. You bring your arms up around your ears, or you can bring them out to your sides. And release. Okay. Let's do the knee to nose pose. Well, let's all do it standing a few times. And then those of you that get down on the mat can get down on the mat. So we're going to exhale the knee in, inhale back, exhale in, inhale back, exhale in, inhale back, and then step forward. And then the other side, exhale the knee up, inhale, extend, exhale, inhale. And then if you want to stay standing, we'll keep doing that pose. And if you get on the mat, get down on all fours, and we'll do another version of the knee to nose pose, which is either way you do it. It's great for your back, your hip flexors. So if you're on the floor, your hands are just slightly in front of your shoulders. The weight is in the knuckles. Fingers are spread. Okay, so and knees are behind, just under your bottom. So we're gonna exhale, draw the knee towards your nose. Inhale, extend, exhale in. If you're standing, you're doing the same pose we were doing. Exhale in, inhale, and exhale. And now we're going to take, extend your leg with the toes turned under, your toes on the ground if you're standing, and breathe up and down the midline, and then experiment with your balance, lifting your opposite arm as the leg that's extended. And if you're on the ground, you can experiment with lifting that back leg. Either way, you're breathing up into the midline, rooting through whatever's on the ground, stretching open opposite leg and arm, and breathing. And this strengthens your core and your balance. Come back down. Take a breath. And we'll do the other side. So exhale the knee in, Inhale out. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back. Toes on the ground. Line up to the midline. And experiment with lifting your opposite arm. And you can lift the back leg if you're on the ground or not, depending on where you are today on this side. And breathe. Just noticing. And come back down. And then let's come back up, everybody, to standing. And we'll do some sun salutations. Chair at one end of your mat. So lining up in Tadasana, rooting down through your feet. We're gonna just do the arms. Inhale up. Exhale back to your heart. Rooting down through your feet. Opening up. And again, with your arms, only go as far as your shoulders feel good. Exhale back in. Inhale. The important thing is to be coordinating with your breath, to be grounding down, warming up the sun, the heart space in the middle of your chest. One last one. Stretch down, stretch up, and now take your arms out to the side and let's exhale over. And if you're on the ground and you do downward facing dog, you can do it on the ground, or else we can do it in the chair. Just spread your knuckles into the chair. Bring your bottom back. All about a long spine. So I like to bend my knees, let my back really extend. And then we can inhale forward to plank. Exhale back. Inhale forward, pull your shoulders back, pull your heart forward. Exhale back. One more. And then let's step towards the front of your mat and come on back up. And we will do some standing poses. So take your feet wide, facing the wide side of your mat. Toes are facing in just a tinch. And then take your right toes out. Your left foot's coming in just a bit shy of a right angle. And then I'm going to exhale the knee down right towards the second toe. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. And then next one. Inhale the arms up like you're taking off a sweater. Stretch out. Look over your front fingers and breathe. Make sure your knee is tracking right over your second toe. Feel your four corners of your feet rooting into the mat and stretch your arms open. Feel your breath. You may need a stronger breath. Breathing into the belly. Exhaling, drawing the belly in and up. When your breath tells you it's time, come out of the pose. Bring the toes forward. Turn your left toes out, right toes in a bit. Your hips are square to the side of your mat. You're going to exhale the knee towards the bottom of the second toe. Inhale up, exhale. Don't let your knee extend beyond your ankle. You want it to be no more than a right angle. Exhale down. Inhale the arms up and out. Stretch your arms open. Stretch from your heart. Root through your feet. Feel your breath. Make sure you're rooted through the back of your right foot, the back foot. Holding these poses builds a lot of strength, builds bones. But be kind to yourself and listen to your body. When you're ready, straighten that knee. Bring the feet together and take a breath. Let's build on warrior two for triangle pose. So you want a chair at the end of your mat as a prop, probably. So you take your feet wide, turn out your right toes, just like warrior two. Hips are square to the side of the mat. But in warrior, we're going to do triangle pose. So we keep the front. Both knees are straight but not locked. Root through your feet, spread your toes. Let's take your hands to your hips, root down, stretch open, stretch your arms open. You can take your left hand to your hip and then pull your left hip back, stretch out to the side. And you want your whole body facing that side of the mat. And if it feels good, you can draw your left arm up. Draw strength from your feet, stretching in all directions. Feel your breath. You can look up at your hand or down at the floor, whichever feels better on your neck. Feel your breath. Feel all your limbs stretching. Then root down. Inhale back up. Parallel your feet and bring them back together. And you can just turn around. I'm going to switch sides. So feet go wide. Turn out your left toes so that the heel intersects the back instep. Let's just inhale. Stretch open. Take your right hand to your hip. Stretch your hip back. Both sides are long. Your spine is really long. And you take your hand, the chair, or your shin. Some people can reach the floor, but you don't want to, you want to be open. And then you can draw the upper arm up. If that hurts your arm, just take your hand to your hip. And extend. So press through both big toe mounds so much that your arches lift. And that gives you a lift to open your heart. And feel your breath. And inhale back up. Parallel the feet. Take a breath. Let's just line up. Draw your hands in front of your heart. If you feel stable, you can close your eyes. Just feel yourself in space. Feel your feet. Feel your breath. Feel the results. Triangle pose. Just developing your proprioception, your sense of where you are in space. It's great for balance and agility. You can open your eyes and release. And let's do a tree pose. So you want like a wall or a chair, something you can grab or use as a prop. And I know that people like jump into this pose, but it's really good to stay in the present moment, to really get centered before you go into this pose. So I invite you to kind of feel your feet rooting down. Line up your breath, get your head floating up over your spine. And then root into your right foot. Take your left foot to your ankle. You can leave the toes on the ground. You get all the benefits of the pose. You can use a chair for balance. You can take your foot to your shin. Do not take it to your knee. Experiment with the thigh. But it's all about being in this moment, just feeling your breath, lining up to your midline. You can find a focal point. Experiment with your arms. And come down, knee forward, foot down. And just shake off that side. Each side is different, each day is different. And it's not about whether you get in the pose or not, it's about what you learned while you were in the pose. And there's something about balance that does keep you in the present moment. Okay, so we're gonna line up on this side. Just spread your toes, root through the big toe mound especially. Lift your heart, feel your breath. I like to take my hands to my hips. You can take the foot ankle to your ankle, your shin, or the thigh. Whoop. And all those little whoops are teaching you balance. Experiment with the arms. Whoop. Feel your breath and feel your balance. And when you're ready, bring your feet down and take a breath and let it go. Okay, so now we'll do warrior one. It's a challenging warrior pose. You can face the chair in the front of the mat. I'll face you so you can see. So you take your right foot forward. Your hips are square in this one, square to the front of the mat. Your left foot is backing out at an angle, so it's kind of like you're on railroad tracks. And you exhale the front knee down, inhale up. Exhale, inhale. You can add arms, inhale up, exhale back, inhale. And now we're going to hold it. So exhale down. Take your hands behind your head, elbows out, then draw the elbows in, and then stretch your arms up, stopping any place where it doesn't feel good. Really root through the back foot and stretch open through your heart. Feel your breath. Draw your heart a little towards your right knee. And step forward when you're done. Just take a moment. Let's just take another moment to just feel what that pose did on one side. What kind of stretches across both sides. And we'll even out the body. So you can take your left foot forward, your right foot back and at an angle, hips square, and exhale the front knee down. Inhale the arms up, exhale down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to inhale. Take your hands behind your head, elbows out to the side, then draw your elbows in, stretch your elbows up, and then extend your arms. Feel your feet, especially rooting through the back foot. Stretch open. Trying to keep your hips square. Draw your heart a little bit towards your left side. And then come forward and release. Okay. So another balance pose based on Warrior 1 is Warrior 3. So you definitely want a chair in front of you or the wall. Chair is probably better. And I'm going to take the right foot forward, the left foot back. Exhale down, inhale up. Okay, we're going to exhale and then push off your back leg and inhale up. Take that foot off the ground or not. And then you can experiment with your balance with your arms. Arms back, jet style, airplane style, superwoman style. And bring the leg back down and come up. So this is a terrific pose for balance, for strengthening that leg. The final way it looks is kind of irrelevant, as long as you're lined up and not hurting yourself. Okay, so we'll do the other side. Take your left foot forward, your right foot back. Exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, push off from your back foot. And balance. Experiment with the arms. Most important thing is to breathe and to stay in this present moment. And come back down and release. Okay. So we want to get into a little bit of back bending, modified. So we'll all do Cobra. You're standing up or in the chair. So let's really establish a good foundation. Root, really press through the big toe mound. Lift your arches so much that you get a lift through your whole body. The exhale, draw your belly in and up. Inhale, chest expands. So you can take your hands to your waist. If you can do this seated and draw your elbows back. Root down and then just breathe into your heart. Just expand your heart like a big cobra. Your head might extend back, but don't crank it back. It's just an extension of your spine. Just breathing into your heart space in the middle of your chest. Rooting down so that you can stretch open. And release. Okay, and now you can do that again if you're going to stay standing. If you want to get on the mat, Come down to all fours. And then you can come and pull yourself forward. Your knees are down. Then bring your chest down, draw your shoulders back, chin down. And lie with your nose right into the mat. And then we're gonna lift the shoulders up and back. Lift the head and shoulders up, arms up. And if you feel strong, you can lift the legs up and breathe. And if you're on standing, do another standing cobra. It's all about stretching open the heart. Either way. And the legs support you. And release. You can shake it out. Take your hips side to side. Let's do one more. So lift the shoulders up and back, long spine. Inhale, up. Lift the legs or not. Toes are extending, arms are extending. Heart is opening with your breath. And release back down. If you're standing, you could do a step back into a downward dog. If you're on the mat, you could take your toes together, knees apart, and stretch into child's pose. Release the back. And then if you're on the mat, you can get onto your side and roll onto your back with your knees bent and feet on the floor, like this. Or you're using the chair. Use the chair. Well, sit on the edge of your chair. I'm going to stretch your hips a little bit. So everybody, so your knees are parallel, feet are grounded, whether you're lying or sitting. And take your hands around your right knee, and exhale up, inhale, exhale. And it kind of like helps you really exhale because you draw the leg into your belly. And then we'll change sides. We're going to exhale in, inhale, open, exhale, inhale. Okay. And now take your left, so keep your right knee square, foot rooted down. Take your left knee into your hand, and if depending on your hips, you can take your heel with your other hand. Either way, you just stir, just explore the range of motion in your hips. Keep your knee with no pain. One thing that helps is to draw your toes back and apart on your right foot, the foot that's where the knee is bent. And you can explore that range of motion. Or for a static stretch, you take your ankle over your knee and just make sure your spine is nice and long. If you're on the mat, there's a little arch away from their mat in your low back. Root through your feet and stretch. Breathe into that hip socket. Big hip muscles. And these big muscles take a while. Just breathe into them. And release. And we'll do the other side. So draw your left knee in. Move it around in the hip socket. Take the foot or not, spread your toes, draw them back toward the knee. Cross your ankle over your knee, root down, stretch open. No pain in the knee. There might be some sensation in the hip. Breathe into it. Uncross your knees and let's just do a very short breathing exercise, a breath meditation. So line up. You can stay on your back if you're already on the floor. Feel, line up your spine. Close your eyes, breathing through your nose if you can. Notice the inhale, belly expanding. Exhale, belly draws in and up. Do a gentle breath, noticing the inhale, exhale. If it helps you, you can put your hands on your belly. Inhale, feel your belly expand. Might be pretty gentle. Exhale, belly draws in a little bit. You might take your hands to your rib cage. You draw the belly in. You draw the breath in and the belly expands, the ribs expand a little bit. Exhale, contract. Nothing exaggerated, just gentle, just drawing your attention to your breath and your body. And then you can take your hands to your upper ribs, top of the chest. Again, inhale, the belly expands, the ribs expand. Tiny expansion at the top. And exhale from the belly. So sometimes when we get nervous, scared, we breathe from this upper part. And that can cause more anxiousness. So just paying attention to drawing a breath down into the belly first. Can be very calming. Just being with yourself in the moment. Let's release that. And very gently prepare for Savasana. So if you're in the chair, just get yourself comfortable on the sofa or the floor. You want to support your head so your chin's in a neutral position. Maybe put something under your knees to relieve your back, or put your feet up the wall or up on a chair. Get onto your side and then onto your back. Just let yourself release into gravity. The legs, the feet just turn out. And roll your shoulders under. The hands can face up 45 degrees away from the body, or else you can put your hands on your belly. Feel your breath. Just scan your body for any tension or holding. Breathe into that. Make any final adjustments so you can be perfectly still for a few minutes. If it helps, you can take a big breath in, open your mouth, and sigh it out. Just releasing any residual tension. And then just release the weight of your bones into gravity. Thoughts come in. And just acknowledge them and return to your breath in this moment. Thoughts come in. Don't push them away. Just acknowledge them and go back to your breath. Just totally feeling this moment, your body and breath in this moment. Now start to gently deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes, waking up the body. If you're on your back, bend your knees, make your way to your side, take a couple of breaths on your side. And then very slowly letting your head be the last thing to leave the ground. Press into your hands and arms. Come back up to a seated position. We'll end the way we began. Take a seat where your spine can rise. Feel grounded. Close your eyes. Feel your breath. Just notice the results of your practice of yoga today. Draw your hands in front of your heart. We'll end with the sound of Om. Inhale. Om. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Have a great day. Thank you.